and welcome back to La Mulana, and before we enter the ruins, let's talk to our old pal Zelpud. And he's annoyed because the game he's playing is boring. There's so many hints. Where's the challenge? I'll tell you where the challenge is. It's the boss fight of the next area we're going to. So we're going to walk to the Gate of Guidance again, since this is the quickest way to get to the next area. So we've seen where this next area is already when we were collecting some treasure chests up here. Courageous one, embrace the power. If thou seeketh power, prove thine courage. Thou trespasses on holy ground. Take care not to cause any needless damage. Those who do not heed this warning will be dealt punishment from the heavens. So that's talking about this eye here, but we already solved this puzzle the last time we were here. Thanks for that slowdown game, and let's continue. So this is the entrance to the fourth area of the game. The spring in the sky. Open the floodgate, the water will once again flow. Open the floodgate of the waves. And here he tells us that the water here is poisonous. So this water will do damage to us the longer we stay in it. It's not that much damage though. And down here, there's a little secret. That one's really easy to find because you're naturally going to stand on it and notice that the platform lowers. And here are some caltrops. It's not a very useful weapon, but it basically just drops a couple of caltrops behind you. I'll be washed away by that waterfall. If only I had a helmet, I could probably get by. So remember that helmet that we picked up in the Twin Labyrinth in the second part? That allows us to make progress here. Behold the spring in the sky. It is a place built by the giants. So there is going to be a point in here where if we didn't have... I just jumped into the wall then, that wasn't very good. Yeah, you can quite easily get stuck in this game, but it doesn't happen that often. But it seems to happen whenever I know what I'm doing, which is annoying. So anyway, the priest Owains takes the form of a fish. This land flourishes under him, as only he may colours the floodgate. There is going to be a point where we have to use the helmet to be able to get past one of these waterfalls. So if we didn't have it, we would have to go down to the Twin Labyrinth via the Mausoleum of the Giants and find it down there. Heal thine tired body. The fairy will gently heal thou. The fairy will help thy fight. The fairy will provide treasure. The fairy will reveal secrets. So this is a fairy point. In the previous part we picked up Isis's pendant, and we talked to the Fairy Queen. Doing that has unlocked these fairy points. But for the time being we're not going to pick that one up. I'll explain how the fairies work once we pick one up, but for the time being we're going to save it for later. Because after you use one with a short cooldown, and I don't want there to still be a cooldown the next time we come here. This mini-boss we're going to just quickly kill with the axe. I just want to show you what attacks it does. And yeah, you're just going to get stuck in an endless loop of trying to get out of the water while you're fighting this guy. So I'm just going to use the axe and quickly kill him, since it only takes 4 hits. Collect the 4 sigils. The path will expand further still. When the waters of the ocean calmed, a new child was born. In pursuit of the sun and the moon, man and woman, life and death, a small, wingless, gillless child was born. And here we pick up the origin seal. This is the first seal of the game. So that takes up this small slot down here. So there are only going to be 4 of these, and we're actually going to pick up the second in the same part, because the second only requires the first to get. And with that said, actually, the third also only requires the second to get, but that one we won't get for a short while. So up there we picked up the scale, sphere, and This is a phantom fish inside a crystal that eliminates poison damage. So now that we have this seal, we can unlock this seal here. So we've seen a few of those throughout the game so far, but they'll glow red like that one did if we're able to enter it. So we've opened the floodgate now. We need to hit this little cog here, so we're able to actually make the water flow into that room. But as you can see, there's nothing else in here at the moment despite the water being here. This is going to be where the boss fight is, but we first off need to trigger the act to appear. No, I was hoping to fall all the way down. And since the water's now here, it's filled up this area more, which if I can... the water physics in this game can be a bit nasty. Allows us to get up there and grab the glove. And the glove allows us to push blocks quicker, as you see there. So that takes up that slot there. The glove is not a mandatory item as far as I'm aware, you can skip it. But since it increases block pushing speed and there's a couple of block pushing puzzles in the game, I don't think it will ever save time not to get it. While we're down here, we'll break open this obvious area here. And you can see that there's a ladder leading down to a door. There's no ladder here, so we have to go to where it was. Sail away. There thou will find Bahamut Saunders, the fish master holds the red light. So if we press down here, this lines up with the ladder, and we're able to climb down. Take the mirror into thy hand. It will reveal the truth of the ruins. There is a hidden side to every room, and the two sides become one. Enter the darkness, descend, proceed forwards, ascend, then jump up and strike. So we're going to record this conversation here, using the software we picked up in the last part. And then we're going to go down here. Only to find it's currently sealed off, so we'll need to enter from the other side. So he was talking about two sides there, and in the previous part, when we jumped inside the Temple of the Sun, where the sun used to be, we saw that we entered the Temple of the Moonlight. There's another side like that in every single area of the game. The Mother's wrath sank the earth. The people persevered at the bottom of the sea until her anger had subsided. They persevered until a child with the strength to rise to the surface was born. Above the sun is the spring in the sky. And now we whip the fish. I feel a bit bad, but you know, we need to do it. So as he mentioned, we need to find a dark area. Once we do, then we'll follow his directions, and it will allow us to enter the other side of the ruins. And there's the actual. This water moves the tower, transformed to power it flows from here. I didn't expect that I would trigger a collapse animation like that. As you can see behind this dais here is a picture of the Ankh. So that means that we have already solved all the puzzles in this area, or all the puzzles that we need to now anyway, since we have both opened the boss fight and collected the Ankh to fight the boss. Those seeking Eden, open the 4 boxes, seek the 4 pedestals, stand before a face of the highest rank in a place bathed in moonlight. So there are going to be 4 hints like this that we're going to grab while we're exploring, and each of them will tell us how to make progress to find the Fruit of Eden. So in the Temple of the Moonlight, the area we were previously in, there was going to be a way to get to there. But first off, or rather there's going to be a way to get the fruit of Eden while there. And this releases a lot of water. Anunnaki resembles the mole of a god in Sumerian mythology. These are theories that there have been aliens from the planet of Nibiru. So we're going to see where all this water drains. Down to the Temple of the Sun. So if you remember in the last part it said we needed water here to make any progress. And now we have water. So this is the first example of quite a lot where we have to make progress in different areas in the game to make more progress in others. But from this point on we need to go to future areas like this one, the Chamber of Extinction. Here he talks about Dark Room, and there we get a little wavy face telling us about those keys that we picked up. So if we go here and look at what he said, he mentioned we enter the darkness, descend, proceed forwards, ascend, then jump up and strike. So let's follow those directions. Let the light burn here, and then we jump up and strike. And that has activated something in the ruins behind us. Damn bat's always in the way. No, I want to turn. Yeah, trying to turn on the surface of the water just does not work. You get so much inertia when you're trying to move like that. It's much easier to just stop and start from beneath. And here we pick up the bronze mirror. And now that we have that, we're going to make our way back to the spring in the sky. So now we have done everything we need to access the next boss of the game, Bahamut, or Bahamut, which is the easy way of saying it, but apparently not the correct way. And since we have low health, we're actually going to make use of a healing fairy. Nope, that's the wrong type of fairy. That's a weapon fairy. You can see by the animation you get, this circular motion means we're going to get a healing fairy. So the healing fairy lasts for 2 minutes, and it will slowly heal your health based on your max HP. And now we can access this seal, which has unlocked that door. And then we get knocked off by a fish. Welcome to the story of my life. The fish only lasts for 2 minutes, so the fairy only lasts for 2 minutes, so I would like to make use of it on the following boss fight while it lasts, but I guess we're going to run out of time due to that fish. And talking of fishes, here's another fish. So here's the fish that we just whipped loads. He doesn't really mind, but he's now willing to sell us stuff, but it's all rubbish. But there is a way to change his shop to make it better. If we bring a key fairy to it from the area beneath us instead of a healing fairy, we're able to change the shop and get some different wares from him. So we'll be doing that later. If of course I can actually get a key fairy to appear, because they have the lowest chance. And sometimes you can be there for quite a few minutes trying to get one. But without further ado, let's summon Bahamut. This is quite the infamous boss for its hitbox. Short story, its hitbox is awful. So we're going to get the axe to help us. Like you see there, I had to get close enough to hit him, but I went too close, and I accidentally hit his hitbox instead and got damaged. Using the whip, you have a lot smaller reach than you do with the axe as well. So this boss is quite infamous for sometimes just being a total pain to do. And here's the second phase, where he shoots out all these orbs. And we have to try and look where they're being thrown and avoid them. Oh, you hit him while he was splashing. It's rare when you manage to do that, but it's always good. Oh, I'm jumping way too much here, I know I can get hit there. It's annoying when you go straight back into it like this, because you can't do anything to him during his phase. One more hit and we're dead, which isn't very helpful. I was hoping I would score a hit while he was splashing. I think he might be down to one more hit. We were just way too far to the side to be able to get in there. That wasn't fair. Because the boat moves at your speed. I think actually a little bit slower. I don't think it moves at your Hermes boot speed. There we go, last hit. How we managed Bahamut on the first try. Of course we did use the axe, which made it a lot easier. But like with Sakit, that's a boss that you probably want to come to with more HP and an improved whip later. And here we are back on the surface. Whoops, and we accidentally fell too far. Well, this is as good a time as any to talk about the sequence breaking way to get to that treasure. First off, let's look at this. So there are two models of a new laptop that arrived in the village, but there's only one left because they already bought one, and if we don't hurry he'll buy the second as well. So while we're here, we can jump off this boat and hit this wall here. And now time for us to do the sequence break way of getting the treasure above it. It's not too difficult, but it is quite the specific jump you need to do. And right now we're just trying to hit this bird, because otherwise it will hit us while we're trying to climb. So this is the other side of that waterfall that we got warned off not going down earlier. And there's also a secret here. We can reach that now, but it's a bit difficult to reach, so we're not going to do it. We'll return later when we get a better jump. So this is where that waterfall was. It was previously blocking our progress. Now we can reach it by making a very specific jump from around here. You gotta feel it when you jump, and then you gotta swing your weapon. You gotta hit that, and you gotta land on here. If you don't hit it, then you can end up falling off it by accident. And using the first seal, we get the second seal, the Earth Seal. And if we keep to the right wall here, we get the Sacred Orb for extra health. We can also break that open, but that just releases bats. There is a secondary weapon that shoots above you, so that's another way to access that Sacred Orb, but I'd rather not have the bats there when we're first trying to get it. What am I doing? I was going to waste all my time getting back around, but there's really no point. So now we're actually going to go to the left side of this area that we didn't explore before. Because up here we'll be able to use that new seal that we just got. Because this is actually for that second seal rather than the first. And here is the Sacred Orb of this location. So you can actually skip fighting Bahamut and get the other seal to get this health before you fight him. Which if you're having a hard time fighting him is probably a good idea. And before we leave, we first off should go inside that other house, rather than the other room. You can see these marks behind us, the Philosopher's Sigil. Those represent that this is another room with a philosopher in it. But like I said before, they're petrified and we can't do anything yet. We saw the tablet that mentioned about how Let's see, where should we go now? I think it's time for us to go to the Temple of the Sun. So we found one of those tablets and mentioned that an ocarina would be able to open it. Or rather, be able to free them. And there we use the sigil we picked up. That's the first one we picked up. And we get to talk to Mulbrook. Yeah, we're the one who woke you. She'll help us with information, but she's currently sleepy. Wedjet is another name for the god Horus. Horus is the god that has the 5 children worshipped. It's an eye that supposedly sees everything from on high. So we'll talk to her a few times throughout the game. But right now she's sleepy, so we shouldn't bother her. So what we're going to do down here is go to a previously locked off room. You see this eye? That's disappeared because we had the mirror. Hey! Happy face. So since we have the bronze mirror and we've beaten the boss of this area, this door has opened up. So, let's re-enter the Temple of the Moonlight. This time from another location where we're able to make more progress. So this room has quite a few openings in it, but as you can see we have to come in from different areas to make any real progress here. So we came here once previously to get the axe and to explore it, but this time we actually have proper access to the place. Grind down the pyramid, remove the tip of the watchtower, the wall will crumble and thou shalt reach the underworld. Let's avoid those Anubis enemies. You may recall those Anubis enemies from when we activated hard mode. Hard mode in this game basically, as well as making you take double damage, will also... Let's hit this face because it's smiling. And remember we saw a note about that earlier. And that now has access to the previous area we were in. So we could now go up to where the axe was. And to where you came out if you entered through the Temple of the Sun. And I completely forgot what I was talking about. Oh well. Oh yeah, the hard mode. So as well as making you take more damage, you also come across enemies from later points in the game in earlier locations. Ahead is the Underworld Palace, where the god who governs death resides. And we have the seal to open this. So previously, the progress we were making was confined to the first, second and third areas. But in this part, we're going to start exploring a lot more of the game, because the boss is no longer comes down to just clearing one area at a time. As you noticed previously, getting the bronze mirror to access this place, we need to basically start exploring the entirety of La Mulana to make any real progress. Those seeking Eden, solve the 4 puzzles, search out the place they point towards. As I mentioned, there are going to be 4 of those hints for us to find. I think we want to go this way first. Actually, you know what? We're waiting for that thing to come back down. Let me show you another secret area. To the right here is a room we can't do anything in for a very long time, so we'll return here later. Even though there is one of those divine eyes up there, it won't actually do anything to us if we attack anything out here. It's purely to punish you if you end up going, if you end up using your weapon inside the temple of the woman. Oh yeah, of course, we can't do anything here until we hit this thing from the other side. What a waste of time coming up there was then. Oh well. Looks like a Michael Jackson or someone on that hieroglyph down there. Let's push this block here, and that has solved another puzzle for us and allowed us to descend into the underworld. I hate these little crawly things. I knew that would happen. I knew it would happen, and it did. It was obviously going to start moving just when I was going up. That's it, we're getting the axe out. The axe one-shots them. There we go. And now let's go back here, waste another weight. Huh, that hieroglyph has changed to now hailing the sun. In classic Dark Souls fashion, it looks like. What a strange hieroglyph. And now it's time for us to search the underworld. Well, there's not much down here at the moment. Okay, that's a big thing, and we can't do any damage to it. I think it's time for us to head back and ask Morbuk for some help. So if you ever get stuck in this game, it's a good idea to ask her for help, but in this situation, it's actually mandatory. She's starting to wake up, and she's the daughter of an excellent tailor, and one of the Force philosophers. She was chosen to be a helper due to her excellence. Morbuk won't ever move from that spot to preserve her eternal life. And here she mentions that an enemy sucks life. It's probably Anubis, the god of the dead. If you had what's known as the Book of the Dead, then it wouldn't be able to suck your life. But Morbuk doesn't know where that is. Oh, what Morbuk have is Morbuk's right hand now is Book of the Dead. So here, you can have it. Thanks. Yeah, that's quite a dumb puzzle, but I kinda like it. So now that we have that, we can return. And this time, we can kill Anubis. After falling flat on our face, of course. That's important. Never forget falling flat on your face. I am so glad that that landed there. I thought it was going to fall all the way down, just to be annoying because I missed that jump. So now we are completely immune to this death attack that these Anubises are doing. And we can now attack this big guy. We still need to hit his head to do any real damage for him. Let's show his actual other attack, because he has a very nasty one. Well, as well as that one, I guess. Okay, he doesn't want to show it. Basically, he has an instant death attack that he can do. But if he's not going to show it, then I won't get hit by it. So that's good. And here we get the Serpent Staff. If you remember, the Serpent Staff was mentioned as an item mandatory for being able to kill the Argus monster that lives up to this top side. First off, we're going to quickly heal up just in case we take any damage from it. I'm going to quickly check my notes that I put down here to see if we have anything else missing. Nope, I believe we've done everything I planned for this episode, so we're going to end on beating both Anubis and Argus. So we can't access this seal yet still. We'll have to come back later with that. So now, we go down to the Serpent Staff, we equip that, and now we can kill this guy. I'll still recommend the axe just because it has wider range and this guy does a lot of damage. The problem with it is though, is that it's slow to recover from. And now we can make our way to the Altar Hill and pick up one of the best items in the game, the Feather. Do you know what that does? You know what it does. Double jump, baby! We have now accessed double jump. You took the treasure from the village shrine, didn't you? Thief! that was an offering by the villagers. Oh well, it allows you to double jump. You're gonna have to pay for your thievery one day. I do like how it calls you a thief for taking it, but now since we have this, we can now access a lot more areas in the ruins, as well as obviously having a convenience. One thing it can't do though, which I'll demonstrate here, is allow you to double jump if you're already falling. You do need to jump off a platform before you can jump again. You can't just save yourself with a secondary jump. We can't buy the this yet, sadly, so we'll get some more money and then we'll get that. Actually, on the topic of money, I will show you one of the main ways to get money. So since we have access to fairies, one of them, as I mentioned, was a healing fairy. Another one is a weapon fairy that will shoot whatever secondary weapon you have. Another one is a key fairy. And finally there's the item fairy, which hopefully we'll get in a few times so I can show it. Luckily you can notice what fairy you're going to get once you memorise the patterns, so you're able to easily go out if you need to. Yeah, there's a very high chance of getting a healing fairy in this game, which for a boss fight is really helpful. For trying to collect money, not that helpful. Here you go. This is the money fairy, and using this, we can start to gather some money real fast. Because every treasure chest that you beat gives you cash, as well as every enemy. So this is one of the ways you get a lot of money. It's not the best way, but we haven't unlocked the best way yet. Because this way you need to waste time going into the menu constantly. And even though the time you spend in the menu when choosing the location doesn't count towards the fairy's time, you still only have a minute as a whole, and you're probably going to spend like 2 minutes due to so much time in the inventory. But as you can see, we're getting quite a lot of money as well as weights here, because the enemy has a chance to drop weights. So how this fairy works is it just guarantees an item drop. So there's one area in the Chamber of Extinction, which is the Dark Place, which has a quick transition between areas so that you can replenish the objects quickly and go for objects in close succession. And after a few upgrades you can easily max a 999 coin count, or 9s, with a single fairy. But for now we're just going to make use of this one fairy, give it as much money as possible, and then we're going to buy ourselves the upgrade for our laptop, even though we don't really need to yet, but we may as well do it. So even though this isn't the most profitable way to go, oh there you go, the fairy went, so now we're getting normal things again. At least we get weights at the same time, so we don't need to also buy them. So that's everything sold. Well, I may as well talk to Zelpod about these items. Oh yeah, he's talking to us. He feels younger already because of the young living girl that we found in the ruins. After his comments about the harem, I think we're just going to leave him on this one. No thanks, we're gone. But now let's talk to him about the serpent staff. Oh, right, of course he wants us to buy the laptop. Fine, we'll buy the laptop first. Thank you. Now can you talk to us about the serpent staff? Mate, the serpent staff, you're supposed to talk to me about items. This doesn't seem to be working. How about the skull? There we go, he talks to us about the bone. Now let's try the serpent staff. He does not care about the serpent staff. Alright Zelpod, play your shooter game, we're leaving. Well, next time we'll make some progress, and maybe tell Zelpod about the serpent staff? I don't know. until next time, be lovely to each other.